Israeli soldiers moving farther into the southern Gaza city of Rafah after seizing control of the Philadelphia Corridor, a strategic territory along Gaza's border with Egypt. The Rafah offensive has killed civilians and drastically cut off the flow of humanitarian aid. 1 million people have left the city, most of whom had been displaced earlier in the war.
It's time for this war to end.
From the White House, President Joe Biden laid out a 3-phase ceasefire plan that he says Israel has agreed to.
Israel's made their proposal. Hamas says it wants a ceasefire. This deal is an opportunity to prove whether they really mean it.
Phase 1 calls for a 6-week temporary pause in fighting, during which Israeli forces would withdraw from heavily populated areas, free hundreds of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails in exchange for Hamas releasing women, the elderly, and wounded hostages. Israel would allow Palestinian citizens return to their homes and more humanitarian aid. During Phase 2, Israeli forces would withdraw completely from Gaza in exchange for the release of all remaining hostages, including male Israeli soldiers. The ceasefire would hold even if talks dragged out past the initial 6 weeks. In the third and final phase, Gaza reconstruction would begin and the remains of all deceased hostages returned.
The people of Israel should know they can make this offer without any further risk to their own security because they've devastated Hamas forces over the past 8 months.
While Biden described Israel's plan as a comprehensive new proposal, other than a truce while talks are ongoing, the plan does not appear to be fundamentally different from past proposals that Israel has rejected, as it does not achieve its war objective, to destroy Hamas.
I'm not ready to surrender and fold. I'm not ready to end the war before all its objectives are completed.
Soon after Biden's speech, the Israeli Prime Minister's office released a statement saying its proposal allows Israel to continue the war until the destruction of Hamas' military and governing capabilities. While Biden envisioned the deal as potentially historic, details are unclear, including the level of Israeli military presence in each phase, as well as who will govern post-war Gaza.
If there is a firm principle that Hamas itself will not be the governing authority in Gaza after Israeli withdrawal, if they're not going to provide security, then who is? What exactly is the nature of a follow-on Palestinian authority?
Meanwhile, Hamas considers positively the contents of Biden's speech, the group said in a statement. Patsy Widakuswara, VOA News, Washington.